Okay, so off camera I went ahead and set up our right hand controls in the exact same way that we set up our left hand controls on camera. The only change I made to our left hand controls off camera was to rename our level 2 controls from finger 1, finger 2, etc. to L finger 1, L finger 2 to indicate that indeed they are for our left hand. Other than that, the left controls are the exact same controls that we set up on camera, and our right controls were set up in the exact same way as those controls. So in this video I want to get our left leg controls set up. Now our left leg controls are going to be interesting in as much as the knee twist control parameter. We're actually going to have to do something interesting and a little bit unexpected there in order to make sure that our pivot for that control object works correctly, but we'll discuss that when we come to promoting up that pivot and the knee twist parameter. So let's allow editing of contents, bring up our type properties, and the first thing I want to promote up will be the leg stretchiness, which is on our leg bone, the upper leg bone. Now I do want to create a new folder called leg. In actual fact, that's going to be called, there we go, legs. Inside that folder I want to create a folder called left, and then let's hunt down inside our goblin character L underscore upper leg, and on the upper leg bone inside the stretchy IK folder we created that leg stretchiness parameter. So making sure we don't have prefix, link name or label checked, I'm going to promote that parameter up, give this the name of L leg lock, and then we can create a separator, and from there I want to promote up the translate and rotate of our foot control. Now I will link up leg stretchiness with our master control expression later on, but for now let's just promote up parameters and then we can set up that expression at the end of the video. So I want to promote up the translate and rotate of our foot control, and I'm going to leave those with the name translate and rotate because really they are the overall leg translate and rotate controls. So let's find our left foot control. So L underscore foot control. From the L underscore foot control I want to promote up translate and rotate, so I'll promote those up and I'll rename this to L foot T and L foot R, but leaving them with the names in terms of labels of translate and rotate. Now we're about to promote up the knee twist parameter, so let's find our L underscore leg twist control. Now you may think to yourself, all we need to promote up is our rotate in Z, because the rotate in Z is that control object rotation that controls our twist. So let's just promote up rotate Z and see what the issue is with that. I'm going to promote up that rotate Z. I'll name this to knee twist and give this the name of L knee twist. Let's accept this. Okay. And let's take a look what happens when we grab that control. Now I do want to right click save operator type, right click match current definition, so this is indeed locked. And when we grab with our show handles tool, which is one of the two ways we're expecting animators to work with our asset, and we grab our control, look where our pivot point is. It's back in the center of our object and not offset behind the knee. If we grab the rotate control, yeah, that's going to work fine, but we are intending to use the show handles tool, not the rotate tool, so our pivot point here is incorrect. To fix this, what we need to do is promote up the Y pivot parameter of our knee twist onto our asset, make sure the expression then is made to work correct for the asset level, and then we need to go ahead and actually hide, make invisible that parameter so the animator doesn't actually see it. So I'm going to allow editing of contents, bring up our type properties, hunt down our L underscore leg twist control. In the transform tab for the pivot, I'm going to promote up, and indeed it is our pivot X rather than Y that we wanted to promote up. Don't quite know why I was thinking Y a second ago. So let's go ahead and promote up into our left leg the pivot X for that control. I will rename this to L leg twist PX for its pivot X. Now if I accept this, leaving it visible for the time being, and OK, I want to go ahead and set this now, instead of being dot dot slash, we know that is incorrect. I need to change this to dot slash, and let's bring this up in an expression editor, and dot slash. It's on our current node, then inside our node, these two nodes exist, rather than up a level and then inside that node. Instead of being from inside the node, we're now calling this on our node. If we accept that, we can now see our pivot has jumped back, and our pivot has been set up correctly. Now I do need to set this as that default value for this parameter, so I'm going to Control C to copy this value, and then going to bring up the type properties. Let's collapse torso and arms. For the pivot X, I need to set that for the default value, and that's because I need this to come in with that value in order for that asset. If we gave it to an animator and the animator dropped in an instance of this asset, I need for that value to come in on that instance of the asset for this to work correctly. So I have changed that default value so that it's using dot slash and not dot dot slash. So if we take that, we can now make that parameter invisible if we accept and OK. The animator never need worry about that parameter, but you'll notice if I save our operator type and match current definition, because that parameter is up at our asset level, grabbing this control, it now has that offset pivot point and will indeed work correctly. So let's allow editing of contents, bring up our type properties, and I now need to promote up our ball roll and also our toe roll. So I'm going to go and collapse master control, torso and arms. I'm also going to hunt down our L underscore ball roll control, and I want for that the rotate in X. So I'm going to promote up rotate in X for our ball roll control, and this will become ball roll, and I'll rename this to L ball roll. And I also want the toe roll, so L underscore toe roll control, transform, rotate, and rotate X. Promote that up, rename this to toe roll, and give this the name of L toe roll. So with that in place, I can accept this, OK. We now have our ball roll and our toe roll, as well as our knee twist, our translation parameters for our foot control and the rotation. Now before I accept, basically save this and then match the current definition, I do want to set up the leg stretchiness parameter to also reference the overall stretchy lock. So I want to jump inside, and let's hunt down our leg and our left upper leg. On our left upper leg, we have that leg stretchiness parameter. I want to multiply that by the overall stretchy lock. I also noticed something there with the default value for that leg stretchiness parameter, which I want to change. So let's jump up, bring up our type properties. The leg stretchiness parameters come in with a default value of 0. I want that to have a default value of 1. I want us to come in with stretchiness. So I'm going to change that to 1 and accept. OK. Right click and save. Right click and match the current definition. So now our left leg does indeed have stretchiness. We can grab this, we can translate. You can see we are translating and stretching. We can rotate, and then we can lock stretchiness if indeed that's what we want to do. So I can zero this out now. Fantastic. And that will conclude setting up our left leg. Now off camera, I'm going to do the exact same thing to set up our right leg. There'll be absolutely no differences other than we'll be dealing with the right control objects. Then in the next video, we can turn around and start setting up our head controls. So with that, that will conclude this video. Thanks a lot, everyone.